it's raising up the next generation and being the best version of yourself, offering the best customer service. It's not about the fees, it's about the right piece of real estate.
Thank y'all both for being here today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
want to start off by just straight up asking you guys what you do.
Well, we both do tenant rep.
Yep.
We do it a little differently.
Yep.
So I do site selection and strategic growth for pretty much the anchor box retailers in the state of Texas and Oklahoma. And then you do multi-market.
So I do multi-market expansion stuff for service users, big box users, and even inline retail in large power centers like an Under Armour, and strategically plan their rollouts across the country and what markets they should go in.
So we are a multi-office real estate firm. We're represented not even just here in America. With our new partnership, we're an international organization at this point. There are a lot of women that are looking at things like representation or the lack of representation in commercial real estate. Now that I'm sitting here with women as successful as you, not just successful in real estate, but also in leadership positions, what type of advice would you give to a young woman either thinking about starting a career in real estate or in it, just beginning? What would you give them in terms of advice?
I would say if you're looking to go into brokerage and you've decided you want to make commercial real estate, a path that you want to choose is find a group that promotes an inclusive environment and that supports women, that can provide you with actual training that they've done for women, or a group of women that can come together to help facilitate and help you grow, in the industry.
That's awesome. We have an organization that definitely empowers women right here internally within SRS called SOAR. Can you tell our viewers what SOAR is?
SOAR is a group of female producers at SRS that we focus on building community and business development across regions, across business lines for all the females in the company.
That's awesome. What have been memorable events or programs that you
we've
guys
had
have
a lot
done?
of good times.
Yeah, we've had some awesome
good
ones.
times.
We did our first.
We had an annual event here,
Yeah.
our first annual event here last year at our headquarters. We'll have another one this November in Atlanta. We get together monthly on video calls and we talk about business, market knowledge and market intel, different things going on in the industry. Sometimes we have speakers, sometimes we have presentations by other females in the company. So we're trying to be, kind of exciting and fun and diverse, but yet keep it very professional, keep it very, intuitive to the business. And
when I started at Staubach, now SRS, there were three women brokers across the country. I mean, it just didn't exist.
It didn't exist.
Wow.
When I started got in the business, I was the first, not only the only, I was the first female broker at that company. And this is in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that long ago.
And now we have 30 women.
We have 33
brokers?
women at SRS, and we definitely are working on recruiting and growing, but we've added 6 female brokers this year.
That's incredible.
So it's changing.
What do you think is important, your role? How important is your role in helping pave the way for those differences you just talked about?
To mentor them, to bring up the next generation, to try to not only recruit, but train and educate the young girls and get them comfortable in the industry. Because as you mentioned earlier, it's a very difficult industry for women.
Right.
We are super fortunate to work for a company that does encourage and support recruitment and growth of women in the category, in the business, in the industry. I've worked at some other companies and you can just look around, and I think that we're very fortunate to work here.
Definitely. So Deals and Heels is an organization you're a part of, right?
Yes.
Not just an organization you're a part of.
Yes.
You actually had a pretty critical role in it being founded. Can you tell us a little bit about Deals and Heels?
So Deals and Heels is a professional networking group local to Dallas-Fort Worth. The common thread is that females in retail. So those are the two common threads. We're about 75 people large. We've been doing this for 17 years. I co-founded it with another girl here in Dallas. And we have met monthly for 17 years.
Awesome.
We have a phenomenal time. Obviously, the result of the group has been just the relationships that have come out of it. But The design of the group is to share market knowledge, market intel, industry trends, all of the things that will help us be better. And my little thing is we're better together.
Yeah.
So I think we're better together. And that's not just women, that's all of us in the industry. But we just are intentional about getting the word out to other women and Deals and Heels of what's going on in the industry and how we can help you and what do you need and how can we fill those gaps.
That's awesome.
When I got into the business, there was no local group of women, and I noticed that the guys had kind of their groups and different organizations that they would hang out at. And since I was the only female at my company, I felt a little bit isolated. And so I reached out to a senior broker in the business, and that's how we started Deals and Heels.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I love that SRS as a company has said, look, it's necessary, it's important. It's great that we have got people who recognize problems, who recognize gaps and say, hey, let me fill this gap, because I'm sure there's a legacy of women who are saying, look, there's a place where I
It's
belong.
crazy to look at the company now and see where we are from where we've been 18 years ago.
That's
I mean, and it doesn't seem like a long time ago, but it was just, it's wild. It's awesome.
The way you see it, it's the way I see it. We get to leave a legacy, right? We're doing these deals, we're servicing our clients, but we get to leave a legacy. If somebody were to talk about your legacy, how would you want them to describe it?
It's raising up the next generation and telling them what might have worked, what didn't work along the way, and being the best version of yourself, offering the best customer service. It's not about the fees, it's about the right piece of real estate. And I'd say clients have even tried to talk me into approving something they think is right. And so it's being honest and knowing that's a bad decision.
Right.
And because that bad decision could tank your whole strategy in the market. So it's being truthful and educating them when, you know, they might not know
That's great.
the right and wrong.
That's great.
I would say my professional legacy would hopefully possibly be creating groups like this that help women reach their potential in the business and grow the base of women in the business. And then just kind of on a smaller level with myself and my clients is to try to help my clients achieve the best real estate I can for their success and in what they're trying to achieve.
That's great. So to your clients, service them in the best way possible. To your colleagues, teach them as much as you can about being the best broker they can be. I love it. Let's end this conversation there. Thank y'all so much for having this conversation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I hope somebody is enlightened by it. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.